there. And make sure you guys, tilt the two-part mold in some sort of direction. Don't leave it. Once again, don't leave it like horizontal like that. Because if you guys do that, you're basically gonna leak out, or all the silicone is gonna build up in the middle, and you don't want that. So for me, basically I would do the vertical position, which is like that. So all the silicone will build up at the top of the head, and once again, as it dries up, pick up some of that silicone and place it somewhere else, so that it won't build up and cause weight on the head area. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay. Alright guys, I just added the silicone mixture to the mold itself along the crack line right here. So now it's basically one silicone mask, not two, just one whole silicone mask. Now what you guys need to concentrate on right now is taking it off the mold itself. So depending on the shape of your mold, as you can see in mine, I'm gonna start on taking it out right here, and what you basically need to do is, choose, like, if there's like a drip, like a silicone drip, like right there. Sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's thin. Usually, if it's thin, it's not gonna carry on, to taking the actual silicone thing out. And what I mean by that is, if it's thick enough, like this, like if the edges is not that sharp, like if it's a bit curved, what you guys can easily do is, let's see if I can, yeah, see that, see how it, so that's basically it. And if it's thin like that, it's not gonna work. It's gonna cut it through. See? Oh, let me see if I can see how it cuts through. So make sure you look for like something thick. If there's no drips in your in the mold, what you guys can do is you guys can use a an X-Acto knife or something sharp, and like make it so that you can slit through the actual silicone. So kind of like that, but don't make a hole right where So that's basically how you take it off. Make sure you guys don't rush on this, because if you guys rush, it will rip somehow, Now, if you guys are using latex, latex is fairly simple. For latex, what you guys can do is actually unbuckle and take off the top part of the mold, and then you can take off the latex cast. But since this is silicone, you guys will have to actually leave this on, But you guys can loosen it up if you want, but it doesn't matter, So yeah, you guys gotta be careful, because if this two-part mold somehow like splits open, it might make a rip through the actual mask itself. So you guys gotta be careful with that. So that's basically it, Don't rush on this, Don't just rip it open, So yeah, depending on how thick you guys made your silicone cast, if it's too thin, then it's simple. Then it's real obvious, It's gonna rip like it's paper. But if you guys made it like not too thin, not too thick, similar like this, then you guys shouldn't have a problem taking it out. So yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like. No, I'll show you guys what an unpainted silicone cast looks like, fresh from the mold. So that's basically casting, Alright guys, we just finished the casting step, which is main step number 4. And when you're actually done with the casting step, there's like a little hidden step kind of there. Now, what this hidden step is basically you check your cast, your silicone cast, especially. Basically, in this step, you just basically check if there's, if anything happened to your silicone cast. And unfortunately, something happened to mine, When I took out the silicone cast, there's been a lot of rips. But then again, here's the part. But then if you see a rip kind of like that, you can fix it, and I'll show you guys how to fix it. But when there's rips kind of like this, yeah, you guys gotta, kind of turn on your thinking caps, and you gotta think of a way to fix it. And I think I may have found already a way to fix that kind of rip. You know, there's a lot of different kinds of rips. You know, there's a rip where you can just basically silicone it. You can re-silicone it in. And there's some rips where you have to actually, you know, use your head and think of a way. Now, out of all, it actually turned out pretty good. You know, it captured every single detail. There's no air bubbles or anything. Now, this is the part where if your silicone cast or your latex cast rips, this is the part where you guys think. You know, this is the part where you guys say, "Why did it rip?" You know. Now, to me, I can tell why it ripped for this one, because basically, this one, the front half, which is basically the face, this is actually much more thick. You know, and I'm feeling it right now. It's actually thick. This side is pretty much thin. And one of the problems is that I'll show you guys. Since my sculpture involved a lot of detailing and stuff, the parts where it actually ripped is basically, hold on, is basically the deep grooves kind of part. And what I mean by deep grooves is basically that part right there, like this stuff. If you guys think about it, if you pour silicone in and try to take it out, it will actually rip because of the sharp edges. So what you guys need to do, and what I need to do, is to basically use like a hammer and like a chiseling tool and chisel this part in. You know, like the parts that basically make it so that it caves in. You know, like as you guys can see, like right here, see how it like curves in and it kind of makes like a little cave. Yeah, well, you know, come on, think. You know. So that's basically one of the reasons why it ripped. And not only that, when it comes to these types of detail like that, see how it's kind of sharp. You know, what you guys need to do once again is you guys can either trim it by using a hammer and a chisel, or you guys can put more silicone in it. You know, because the more silicone you put on it, the more it actually reinforces it. And one of the mistakes I've actually made just now is when I was applying the silicone in, I didn't actually fill in this whole entire rope. You know, I kind of just, you know, let it go and stuff. So that's probably one of the reasons why it ripped. And not only that, when it comes to, this is actually my second silicone mask, second full head silicone mask that I made. The first one was Freak Show. Now, when you guys are applying the batch of silicone that seals up the two-part silicone molds, basically what you guys need to do is you don't just mix up silicone. You know, guys should also tear up some pieces of what do you call it? Some paper towels. You know, like the size of my thumb. Then you soak that in silicone, and then you place it along the ridges, so it really seals it up. You know. So think of it as like plaster. You know, like the burlap soaked with plaster. You know, it adds extra strength to it. So make sure you guys do that too. You know, I forgot to mention that. So that's probably one of the mistakes I've made. And as you can see, you know, even I make mistakes. You know, some of you guys think that I'm a professional or something. Well, guess what? I'm not. You know, I'm only 16. So yeah, everyone makes mistakes. You know, like right now I'm disappointed at the cast. But once again, you know, there's always a way to fix things. You know, and some of you guys, if your molds or your silicone casts get ruined somehow, some of you guys just give up. You know, don't give up. You know, it's never good if you guys give up, because you're not accomplishing anything. You know, so if something wrong happens, you guys gotta think about what happened and how can you do to fix it in the future. You know. So by the way, this is the first silicone cast of the Scarecrow, and which is good because that's my copy right there. And second of all, I don't really know when the next copy of the Scarecrow mask will be made, and the reason why is because, you know, I'll actually make a video of this after this tutorial video. So as for now, I'm barely out of silicone, as you can see right there. I just have enough for you know, painting the unpainted silicone cast, and also to reinforce it. You know, so you guys gotta be careful, especially if you're using silicone. You know, silicone and latex has its own ups and downs. Silicone, after it's done, may look better.